Today, I want to talk about some older games that still look awesome compared to the recent new releases. Some games from 5 or even 10 years ago that can still compete with games released in 2024 graphically. Oh, by the way, I already did a video on this before. So, if you're bummed your favorite game didn't make to this list, watch that video later. Alright, let's get into it. Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity is quite the interesting case, isn't it? Back when it first hit the scene, it took a beating from critics for its bugs and performance woes. But lately, it's been getting a second look, with some folks warming up to it while others still hold their reservations. Overall, it's definitely enjoying a better reputation now than it did a decade ago. Unity marks the end of an era for the classic Assassin's Creed formula. Set in a meticulously detailed version of Paris, it strips away a lot of the excess baggage that later entries piled on. And in 2024, it's looking better than ever, though PC players might still encounter a few rough spots that need smoothing over. Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 might not be at the top of everyone's Battlefield favorites list, but let's give credit where it's due. This game is a visual masterpiece. From the moment it opens and thrusts you into the chaos of no man's land, it's clear that Battlefield 1 means business. The haunting rendition of its really dreadful sets the tone perfectly, and the grim, oppressive visuals drive it home. Mud-covered landscapes, decimated buildings, and ominous clouds overhead. It's all there, painting a picture of the sheer devastation of war. Despite the predominantly dark and grimy aesthetic, the game is stunning. Whether you're trudging through the single-player campaign or duking it out in multiplayer, the attention to detail is jaw-dropping. God of War 2018. Let's talk about God of War, the game that dropped on PS4 back in April 2018. Now, this one's worth a shout-out, especially because it hit shelves right at the tail end of the PS4's life cycle. What's really remarkable about God of War is how it pushes the limits of what the PS4 or the beefier PS4 Pro can do. The level of detail packed into this game is just mind-blowing. From the vastness of the world to the seamless transitions between scenes, it's all so fluid and immersive. Seriously, the camera never even flinches, whether you're watching a cutscene or in the thick of the action. It's all one smooth ride. And let's talk about Atreus. That kid's animations are on point. He's running around beside you with such fluidity, it's like he's got a life of his own. And as for Kratos himself, goodness gracious, the attention to detail is off the charts. From the pores on his skin to the ruggedness of his beard, every little aspect is meticulously crafted. Batman Arkham Knight. One of the things that always blew my mind about this game was the attention to detail in every nook and cranny. Seriously, you could wander into the tiniest alleyway and find it packed with posters, textures, and little touches that most people would never even notice. But they're there, adding layers of immersion that never fail to impress. Now, I've got to break it to you. Batman Arkham Knight hit the scene back in 2015. Yeah, it's starting to show its age a bit, but here's the kicker. It still feels fresh as ever. I mean, seriously, am I the only one who feels like this game just dropped yesterday? Anyway, visually speaking, it's holding up like a champ. The level of detail is still off the charts, stacking up nicely against even the latest and greatest. They really went all out with the visuals in this one. From the muscular characters to the rain-soaked streets, every inch of Gotham City is dripping with detail. And let's talk about those costumes. They're like works of art, with stitching, buckles, and all sorts of little intricacies that make each one unique. And you know what? It works. Normally, that kind of hyper-stylized design might feel a bit over the top, but here, it's perfect. Everything just clicks, especially with all the shiny, reflective surfaces and the perpetual rain adding to the atmosphere. Whether you're playing on console or PC, Batman Arkham Knight still looks damn good. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. There are two ways to approach this beauty: its original form and its next-gen update. And trust me, both are worth talking about. In its original form, The Witcher 3 is still an absolute stunner. The world that CD Projekt Red crafted is nothing short of breathtaking. Every corner of it feels meticulously designed, with visuals that can still rival some of the best out there. Sure, it dropped back in 2015, alongside other titles like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but let's be real, The Witcher 3 is in a league of its own. It's a masterpiece, plain and simple. Now, let's talk about that next-gen update. Oh boy, did it make a difference. While the original version still holds up, you can't deny that there are moments where you catch a glimpse of its age. The lighting, the textures, you name it. But with the next-gen update, it's like seeing the game in a whole new light. Literally, the new lighting system transforms the entire experience, elevating it to a level that's on par with the best of the best. And while it might not fully embrace ray tracing across the board, it brings in enough elements to make a world of difference. Even the areas where the lighting might have hinted at its age before? Yeah, you barely even notice them now. And let's not forget about the NPCs and character detail. It's top-notch, rivaling anything you'd expect from a modern AAA title. Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, here's a game that's not just ambitious, it's downright mind-blowing. Rockstar really outdid themselves with this one, showcasing their technical prowess in a way that's truly impressive. If you've ever been to the heartland of the US, you'll know just how spot-on Rockstar nailed the look, sound, and feel of that part of the country. It's like stepping into a virtual tour of 1899's America, but with a photorealistic twist. Unlike some other games that require a suspension of disbelief to fully appreciate the scenery, Red Dead Redemption 2 pulls you in with its handcrafted masterpiece of a landscape. The day-night cycle in this game is something else. From the realistic sunrise and sunset to the twinkling stars in the night sky, every moment feels alive and vibrant. And let's not forget about the weather. Fog rolling in during the early hours of the morning adds yet another layer of immersion to an already stunning world. But it's not just about the visuals. The level of interaction and detail in Red Dead Redemption 2 is off the charts. Every aspect of the game feels meticulously crafted, with properly scripted and performed animations that make even the smallest actions feel meaningful. Take skinning an animal, for example. There's no cheap waving of hands here. You actually go through the process, adding to the realism and immersion. Metro Exodus. When it comes to rendering a post-apocalyptic wasteland, few developers do it as well as 4A Games. And with the addition of ray tracing in Metro Exodus, they took immersion to a whole new level. Now, when the game first launched, it already looked fantastic, with some early ray tracing effects sprinkled in. But it wasn't until the Enhanced Edition dropped in 2021 that we got to see the full power of ray tracing unleashed. With ray-traced global illumination, emissive lights, and reflections, Metro Exodus became one of the most immersive games out there. In this enhanced version, there's practically no traditionally rendered lighting. It's all about that ray tracing goodness. And while it might not be full path tracing, which is the holy grail of ray tracing, it's about as close as anyone got in 2021. The interiors of buildings are where the ray tracing really shines. What once looked like any other high-fidelity game now feels like a realistic snapshot of a real-world setting. It's eerie how lifelike everything appears, drawing you further into the nightmarish world of Metro Exodus. And even as ray tracing technology continues to evolve, Metro Exodus remains a shining example of its potential.
And where are your people, Colonel? It's dangerous outside.
Infamous Second Son. This game is an absolute blast no matter which path you choose, hero or villain. Released back in 2014, it's impressive how it still holds up with its amazing graphics and gameplay. But what really sets this game apart is its emotional depth. It's a roller coaster of emotion, with moments of comedy, action, friendship, and betrayal all woven together seamlessly. It's the ultimate power fantasy, allowing you to unleash your wildest abilities and wreak havoc on your enemies. Want to take down oppressive government agents with scalding smoke? You got it. How about zipping around at the speed of light? Yep, that's on the table too. And let's not forget about the epic swordplay, pulling a sword out of a freaking TV and going full-on explosive armature? Absolutely epic. Now, I'll be honest, the concrete power might not be the most thrilling option. But hey, each power has its own strengths and super attacks that pack a serious punch, except for concrete, which unfortunately gets overshadowed towards the end of the game. But despite any shortcomings, the powers in this game are strong and versatile, offering endless possibilities for creative gameplay. And let's face it, there's something undeniably satisfying about unleashing devastating super attacks and watching your enemies crumble before you. Uncharted 4. What a game, right? It's like, seriously, one of those visual masterpieces that just blows your mind. Released back in 2016, it was one of those games that really pushed the PS4 to its limits. From lush jungles to snowy peaks, it's like you're really there. But it's not just about the looks, you know? Uncharted 4 is packed with action, like, non-stop. Buildings falling down, debris flying everywhere. It's chaos in the best possible way. And the attention to detail? Insane. Every little particle and physics effect is just spot on. Now, sure, the story might drag a bit here and there, but visually, oh man, it's still a stunner, and with the possibility of PC modders getting their hands on it, whoa, the future looks bright. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Uncharted 4 and a bunch of other visually stunning games.